And we welcome you live here from Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix here in Spielberg. Only a day late. Obviously, we were supposed to have the race yesterday, but due to circumstances, we had to delay it to today. I forgot to update you guys on the YouTube channel for that, but. Yeah, we're here tonight for the Austrian Grand Prix on a nice Sunday evening or night, wherever you are, wherever you live. But yeah, 17 minutes here left in qualifying. It's an 18-minute qualifying session, and then we'll go into a 36 lap main event. So, 36 lap Grand Prix. So yeah, we have 9 drivers tonight, a lot more than we had at the sprint race. So yeah, a pretty decent turnout considering that this wasn't a great weekend for a lot of people to race. So yeah, 9 drivers, definitely not too bad. But yeah, here is Landon Barron here on track. He raced the sprint race on Friday, and he got taken out in that 3-car pileup that we had on lap 4 of the sprint race. So that was an unfortunate sprint race for Landon Barron now, but he's looking to redeem himself and try to get a good finish here tonight here in Austria. Yeah, he's the only one out on track right now. It's pretty cloudy here in Austria right now. So yeah, the Sauber makes his way through these sweeping corners here. On Friday, we had a really fantastic finish between both Williams, as there's one of them, Jonathan Hibbett. He finished second in the sprint race. Royce Crown won the sprint race. It was a fantastic finish for the 2 Williams. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned because it could definitely be a really good race here tonight. And that was only in 12 laps in the sprint race. We have 36 laps, more than double the distance here tonight. So it's gonna be a lot of racing action tonight, and you do not want to miss it. Here is Trevor Massey in the Ferrari, and also Christian Severson. There's 2 cars slow, letting Landon Barron now by in the Sauber. Landon Barron now heads down the hill here at turn 4 into turn 5 here. The sweeping corners here. So honestly, a really simple track here in Austria. It's a lot of straightaways and a lot of pretty simple corners. Here, though, coming up, this is a really easy place to get track limits. At least in real life, in this, we don't have strict corner cutting on, so it's a little more lenient on the track limits. But Landon Barron now heads up to the line. He's gonna set a 105.3. Landon Barron now 105.3, the first car to make a lap as he's yellow flag sector 3. I believe that might have been Christian Severson letting the Ferrari past. So these 2 are about to start their lap. Jonathan Hibbett going to be the next car. We're going to ride on board through these final corners here. Jonathan Hibbett. Oh, slides it there as he heads through the final corners. Goes really wide off in the paint right there. And Jonathan Hibbett goes to a 104.5. Still faster than the Sauber, but those final few corners probably screwed up his lap a little bit. It's a 105.4 for Alex Albon in the Mercedes, who made his first start last Friday in Singapore. There's also David Albon, who is racing tonight in the Aston Martin. He's shown obviously really solid pace, and I could definitely see him going for a race win tonight. As Maddox Beard goes top of the board with a 104.1. He's obviously had more time to get used to his new Moza R3s, his new wheels. So Maddox Beard definitely could be a contender here for this race win tonight also. As David Albon went to 104.4. But yeah, Maddox Beard, he is looking for his first ever F1 League win. Not just his first Formula Allegiant win, but he has never won a F1 League race ever. He's only won the NASCAR side in the NASCAR Heat Games. So yeah, he's looking to try to get a win on the F1 side of things, the open wheel side of things, to try to get it done maybe tonight. Comes from a similar background to how Mel Hamilton is, but Maddox Beard has been playing the F1 games for a lot longer than Bill Hamilton. So yeah, he obviously has way more experience, and yeah, he's overall he's shown really good pace here from Allegiant. But yeah, Max Beard for Red Bull, top of the board by 3/10 right now over David Albon. So yeah, they're gonna head into the pits here, and they'll start their second runs here shortly. Yellow flag sector 2. Not sure what it was, but yeah. Beard and David Albon head into the pits here. So yeah, Maddox Beard top of the board. There's also two Williams third and fourth. They've been really close. They obviously, since the swaps with like the Williams driver lineups, obviously those two have been really close all season. Royce Crown, Jonathan Hibbett's. Hibbett's going for another lap, I believe, but he's kind of struggling. He's over the line, and Hibbett does not improve. So yeah, but it's not a surprise to see these Williams really close together because obviously throughout the whole season, Jonathan Hibbett and Royce Crown have been really, really similar on pace. So yeah, it's really interesting with the Williams, but also they got to keep in mind they are teammates and they're trying to help each other in the Constructors' Championship. So yeah. Yep, as Royce Crown heads through these corners here. Still yellow flags, sector 3. I'm not sure what it is for. But Royce Crown heads through final corners here. He's actually going to go for a lap here. Believes he runs a little bit wide. Seems not bad, though, for Royce Crown, who goes over the line up to P2. He actually ties with David Albon. So yeah, 104.449 for both Royce Crown and David Albon, but Royce Crown has scored just ahead of the Aston Martin, so probably got more. If there was more digits there, I'm sure it was Royce Crown was probably a little bit faster. And like I don't even know. That's a really small number there, a really small margin, but it's probably a little bit faster. But yeah, everyone's making their laps here. Gadia Alamany, he did not actually know. Yeah, he did not race the sprint race last night. It was Lowry Williams filling in for him as he also ends the pits. Oh no, he spins. Okay, he reset the car. I think they might have reset the game might have resetted him, so he got really lucky there. My goodness. But yeah, Gadia Alamany did not race the sprint last night. It was Lowry Williams filling in for him. He's Lowry Williams not racing tonight. As, yep, 10 minutes left here in qualifying. As people are making the laps here, there's Christian Severson, who had solid pace but got caught up in that 3-car pileup, as we mentioned earlier in the sprint race. It was probably one of the biggest wrecks we've seen. Oh, it was Christian Severson off the road into the gravel. And into the barrier goes the V-carb, and that's obviously gonna be his lap over if he was going for one. So yeah, Christian Severson into the barrier. He's gonna keep it going though, and he'll be fine as he crosses over. You see his damage though on the front wing, so yeah, obviously gonna have to come in to repair that front wing. There's 3 cars here heading out of the pits. That's Gadia Alamany, that's Williams, Jonathan Hibbett, and Maddox Beard, who's heading out for a second run here, trying to improve his time. I'm sure that the times are going to get into the 103s here, high 103s, I would imagine. As we'll turn on the lap data now. All right, so we'll be able to see, turn off the tires, there we go. All right, so yeah, we're going to be able to see the how much people are improving in each sector, so that'll help us know if people are improving or if they're not. So yeah, 8.5 minutes here left in qualifying. It's the V-carb crew over there. Yep, they are awaiting Christian Severson, who damaged his front wing. It's Jonathan Hibbett going to start his lap. Let's ride on board with Jonathan Hibbett here for a whole lap here. Jonathan Ibbett trying to catch up to Sam Lewis in the point standings. He's still mathematically in contention, but it's going to be very tough as he runs wide there. Obviously, I don't think the game really calls it because it is regular corner cutting. So, yeah, it does not really call it. Obviously, in the race, it'll give you a warning, but it won't invalidate your time. But in the race, you can't do that. As Jonathan Ibbett heads down this straightaway here, you saw the first 3 corners into turn 4 right here. Gives you a good idea on how this track, how the track is here in Austria. Super fast track as he heads through the sweeping corners here. Touches the curb. That's not really what you want to do. That curb can really upset the car. As he flicks the wheel, heading down through these final corners. Jonathan Ibbett through the final corners. He heads through here and through the final corner. Here comes Jonathan Ibbett. Will he be able to improve his time as he goes over the line? Yes, he does. He goes just ahead of Max Beard, who slides off the final corner. He's around. Max Beard around. He fortunately does not damage the car. Unfortunately, he's gonna have another shot at it in the next stint. So yeah, Max Beard. Yeah, it was a scary moment for Max Beard, though. Did not want to DNF the car, or else he would have had to settle with that 104.1, which is still a good time, but he would have definitely been at risk to lose his second position. So yeah, Max Beard. Unfortunate moment for Max Beard. That was a big moment there. Yeah, obviously Max Beard also had a big moment in sprint qualifying yesterday. He or 2 days ago, he had a spin that actually went a little airborne. So yeah, Beard, he's fast, but he's still trying to get to grips with his wheel. As Gadia Alamany going a little slow, maybe charging up his ERS here. I don't know. Looks like that's what he's doing, or just trying to let Max Beard by. He's gonna let Beard by. I believe he's charging up his ERS. As he heads through these corners. Yep. Here comes Gadia Alamany, who's third on the board. He's gonna go for a lap right here. So yeah, we'll see what Gadia Alamany can do with 5.5 minutes left in qualifying. Here comes the Sauber through these corners. The first corner seems pretty tidy. Is heading up the hill through turn 2 into turn 3. Up a 10th. That would put him ahead of Max Beard. Not quite to Jonathan Ibbett's time, though, but he could definitely easily find that time in the next 2 sectors. As he heads through turn 4, Gadia Alamany. This seems like a really solid lap. As here comes the Sauber. Head down the hill into turn 5. Heads through the sweeping corner, sideways, he's around. Sideways for Gadia Alamany, keeps it clean, but he was on such a good lap, and unfortunately, that lap will come to an end. He's gonna have to settle on that final run, which is really what's gonna count anyway. As he slides here, he'll probably head to the pits. Yes, he will. David Albon, he's not on a lap. He's on the mediums actually, so I don't think he's even improving. I don't think he'd even improve if he was trying to. Oh no, Christian Severson. Christian Severson. I'm not sure what happened to the V car, but he's out. That's unfortunate for Christian Severson in the V car. That's unfortunate for Christian Severson as here comes the Aston Martin of David Albon through the final corners. Obviously he was not on a lap, so yeah, that's what I figured, because he was a second, 1.0 seconds in the red. So yep, these two are gonna head into the pits and get a quick tire swap, get on the fresh tires, and go again for a hot lap. These drivers are likely going to head out with 2 minutes left in the session, so they can just get around. Obviously, you just have to get around to the line before the clock runs out, and then you'll be able to set an extra lap. So, yeah, you'll be able to finish that lap. So, yeah, first car actually, a little early, but Landon Barron now heads out on track in the Sauber. So here comes Landon Barron now. out of the pits. Gonna have to warm up those tires, get those tires in good condition to start his flyer here, his final qualifying run. Landon now 7th on the board with a 104.7, just ahead of the Ferrari of Trevor Massey, who's not on track, and also Alex Albon, who just went out on track in the Mercedes. Or I believe he might be on a lap, I'm not sure. But Landon Bear now heads through these corners here. Bear now heads to the sweet big corners, just trying to get these tires in good condition. As here he comes. Obviously gotta charge up that ERS also as he heads through these corners here, these final corners. Gonna start his lap here in Austria. His final lap here in qualifying. Actually, might be able to set another one if he wants to. Landon Bear now heads through the first turn here with people heading out of the pits in the pit exit right next to him. But Landon Bear now heads through up the hill into turn 2 and 3. Landon Bear now, he's in the red by 400ths, but he might be able to find the time. Still got 2 sectors left here to find that time. Landon Bear now. There's also Trevor Massey who's trying to improve his time, try to improve past the Landon Bear now, or even get more positions as Trevor Massey starts his lap here. Landon Bear now heads through turn 5. Here he comes. Let's see if he's improving. He is a 10th in the green, and that will put him ahead of Christian Severson if he can finish it out. Yellow flag sector 1, but here comes Landon Bear now through these corners. Landon Bear now. Will he improve? He was a 10th in the green when we last checked, and over the line, he goes ahead of the V-Carb with a 104.6. As here's Trevor Massey, he's a 10th in the green. That's not good enough, though, to get ahead of the V-Carb as he heads through these corners here. Let's see, maybe he's improving a little more, though, in this sector. He is 3/10 in the green. That would put him ahead of the V-Carb. He may even be able to get ahead of Landon Bear now. This is a good lap from Trevor Massey as he heads through the final corners here. Trevor Massey, if he can just finish this out, may go ahead of Landon Bear now, may go to P6 as he heads over the line. Trevor Massey goes up to P6 with a 104.5. Royce Crown heads through these corners, up 3/10, but he's sideways through the final corners as to the line. Royce Crown goes to 3rd. Royce Crown P3 as Jonathan Ibbett. Now he's a 4/10 in the red, so I don't know if this is actually his lap or not. As he heads through these corners here, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be his lap. Actually, he's not even gonna be able to improve. He's not gonna make it. So Jonathan Ibbett not gonna have another shot. Beard. I don't know if he made it either. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. It might have. I think Beard actually did make it. So here comes Maddox Beard through these corners. Yeah, he did make it. So Beard, he might be able to steal pole position here as he heads through these corners here. Gotta only improve a few hundredths here, maybe half a tenth here if he just wants to get pole here. As he heads through these corners, he is a 10th in the green, and that would put him to pole. If he can finish it out, no, as David Albon goes to Paul, and now Beard has to improve a little bit more. Maddox Beard heads through the final corners. That's a Williams crash in front of him. No, Beard spins. Beard spins. As he's now going to have to settle for P3. He might be able to get to P2, maybe even pole, but he bottles it in the final corners. And David Albon on pole for the Austrian Grand Prix. No one saw that coming. David Albon goes to pole position. As here's your qualifying results here. David Albon, Jonathan Ibbett, Maddox Beard, Royce Crown, Gatti Alamani, Trevor Massey, Landon Bear now, Christian Severson, and Alex Albon to round out the field. Yep, that is qualifying done here from Austria. Now we got 36 laps of racing to see who will win the Austrian Grand Prix. It's round 15, so it's getting pretty late in the season here. Only 6 rounds left. we go. As now we are down at the track here in Austria. It's a bright sunny day here in Spielberg, and a great day to go racing here in Austria. It's gonna be David Albon on pole here. As then we're gonna get their setups in here. Yeah, we're going to have 6 more races on F124 before we move to F125 for Season 2. So that'll be exciting to see how the drivers take on F125. A way different handling than this game. This game obviously is a lot more about flicking the wheel into the corners, while F125 does have a little bit. It's more of a smooth driving style that you want, and yeah, a lot more like the F123 handling, where you didn't really need to flick the wheel on that game. You just had to have a smooth driving style. As formation lap gets underway here in Austria, David Albon gonna be on pole, as we'll see the tires here, what tires everyone is on. Everyone's on the mediums, so yeah, mediums. It'll probably be mediums to hards here for these 36 laps in Austria. So, yep, everyone on the mediums, so everyone on equal tires, so yeah, it's really going to be a DRS train this race. Obviously, if you can stay in that DRS, you're pretty much golden. That's really how Royce Khan was able to win the race. He was, he was staying pace as Jonathan Hibbett, but with that DRS, it really helped him get around Jonathan Hibbett. So, yeah, that's how Royce Khan was able to kind of win the race. It was just DRS, and Jonathan Hibbett couldn't really do anything because of that extra speed that you get from the DRS. Yep. Williams is 2nd and 4th. Aston Martin gonna be on pole, the one and only Aston Martin this race, and also the one and only Red Bull P3 who split the 2 Williams. And then Sauber 5th and 7th, and Trevor Massey P6. And then the V-Carb P8, and the Mercedes in P9. So, yep. As Trevor Massey missed his grid box. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. We're racing in Spielberg. As a good start from David Albon as we head down into turn 1. They all jockey positions back here. The 2 Saubers and Williams. They all fight as they head down into turn 2 and 3. Here we go. As there's moves here from Max Beard, looking to the inside of Jonathan Hibbett. Oh no! That's a Mercedes who is out of the race, and I don't know if that's going to be a safety car. I'm not sure what happened to the Mercedes, but heading down into turn 4, that is the V-Carb sending it to the inside of that would be Landon Barrett now as they head down the hill into turn 5. This is great racing here on lap 1. The V-Carb splitting. Oh no, that's Max Beard off the road. Beard in the gravel and now up in the marbles as he heads down through here into the final corner. He's now falls down to P7 when he started P3. So Beard, that was an unfortunate moment right there. It's just down to second and last out of everyone that's running. As looking at the front, it's a 2-car breakaway with the Aston Martin and the Williams. Here comes Jonathan Hibbett, who's trying to get points here to try to catch up to Sam Lewis in the World Championship. Jonathan Hibbett goes up to P1, goes to the lead of the race. Jonathan Hibbett, new race leader here on lap 2. Race Crown, your sprint winner, trying to catch up to these 2. He is leading this pack of a bunch of cars. I got to eliminate Christian Severson and Landon Barron now. Actually, the rest of the field, pretty much. As that was a big slide from Maddox Beard. He's getting chased down by Trevor Massey in the Ferrari. As you see, it's a big train here. These 2 cars have broken away, really. They're out of DRS. The guy eliminated could have a chance at at getting P3 here, getting to the podium. He's actually going to make the move now. Here comes Gatti Elimini, not going to get there. As here comes Christian Severson, who gets touched, and he gets off the road as the kick Sauber. The other one slips through. Here comes Max Beard to the inside of Christian Severson. As Severson from that almost loses 3 spots. He loses 2 spots as Beard couldn't make the move. Here comes Trevor Massey. He's going to have a run on the Red Bull. Here he comes. Will he make the move? No, he's not going to make the move. As that's Max Beard almost. He's thought about the send right there. As they all fight positions back here. Looking at the front, David Albon has taken the lead of the Grand Prix though, but Jonathan Ibbett does have the DRS. Can't get there though. As they head down as this field, this whole cluster of cars, as that's a Ferrari sending it to the inside of the Red Bull, and Max Beard down at P8. Trevor Massey up to P7. Great racing here in Austria as Royce Crown is the last car on the podium right now, leading this pack here. Gatti Elimini, will he make a move here? He's not even close enough to really do it. I don't think he's going to do it. He learned from last time to not do that move. He's got to wait till that DRS. Actually, Royce Crown went a little bit wide there, but it was a good exit there from Gatti Elimini. Looking at the front, they're side by side. That's Jonathan Ibbett. Jonathan Ibbett up to P1, goes to the lead of the race once again. But here comes the Aston Martin with the slipstream. But the Williams has the DRS. So it kind of evens out as they head down into turn 3. No moves made, but now the Aston Martin's going to have DRS, and he's likely going to make the move as there's Saubers fighting. Oh, that was off the road a little bit there. That was Gatti Elimini. Looking at the front, though, they're side by side. The Aston Martin is going to take the lead of the race. Is looking here. This is crazy fighting here. This is 5 cars under a blanket here. Actually, no, 6 cars under a blanket here in Austria. This is what I was talking about with the DRS trains. Also, it's a little bit of damage from Christian Severson. He's just trying to hang on right now. Here's Gatti Elimini, who's P6 right now. He's trying to get around the V-Carb, who has wing damage. Royce Crown's starting to pull away from these guys. Landon Bear now just trying to stay in DRS. Gatti Elimini definitely has better pace than those guys, than the 2 in front of him. So he's got to get around them as they heads down. They all head down in here. Now Royce Crown's starting to break away from these guys. Landon Bear now does have the DRS. Christian Severson going to add the slipstream though on Landon Bear. Now here he comes. He's going to have a run down into the braking zone. Here he pulls to the inside. Not going to get there. That's a Ferrari making a deep send. That was Trevor Massey, who went to the inside. He also P6 as Gatti Elimini loses another spot. He's down to P7. Beard makes a move, not going to get there though on Gatti Elimini, going to wait. Got to be so smart with your moves at this track here, especially when you're in this train, because if you spend too long battling, then the cars in front will break away, so you got to be really smart with it. Looking at the front though, David Albon and Jonathan Ibbett, the gap staying relatively the same, but I think Jonathan Ibbett could be close enough for a move here. He definitely is probably close enough for a move. He's going to have DRS down this front stretch here. So we're right on board with him. Here he goes. He has slipstream and the DRS. Says there's a little bit of charging ERS from David Albon. Here comes Jonathan Ibbett, gonna get the run. He goes to the outside of turn 3. It's Jonathan Ibbett now gonna go ahead, might take the lead of the race. As he does, he clears him before the corner. Ibbett to the lead of the race, but will Aston Martin have anything to say about it? He is right on the rear gearbox. As here he comes with the DRS. Here he comes to the inside of Jonathan Ibbett. Here he comes. As now he keeps the lead of the race. David Albon takes the lead over the Williams for like the 4th time today as they head down into here. As Landon Bear now has gone up into the podium places with Royce Crown running off right there. You saw that. Royce Crown ran off into the gravel there. He falls to the P7. Beard kind of struggling right now. He's just trying to make up time, but it's just not really doing quite that right now. As lap 7 here in Austria, Landon Bear now leading these 6 cars here. as they head down through here. Here's Hibbett and David Albon for the lead once again. They're going to swap. Oh, here comes Hibbett. Switches to the inside. He's going to take the lead of the race once again. Here comes the Aston Martin, though. It's going to be a similar situation how last lap was. It's going to be a carbon copy of what happened last lap. Here comes David Albon to the inside. He's going to take the lead of the race once again. Here's Severson up into the podium places. Got to eliminate P4 as Landon Bear now. Oh, he gets shoved off almost. There's a lot of contact with Royce Crown and Gaddy Elimine as they go side by side through the sweeping corners. They touch as that's Landon Bear now around. Landon Bear now around in the sweeping corners, and now Landon Bear now falls away far back to the lead pack or to the second pack as now Royce Crown, he's still in reaching distance, but those two collided, and yeah, Landon Bear now, it's been rough. He's just kind of gotten caught up in stuff that he's gotten caught up in stuff that wasn't really entirely his fault. In both the sprint race and the Grand Prix as they head down through here. That broke up the pack a little bit, but Gaddy Elimine trying to catch up to Chris Severson as they're swapping here at the front. They're side by side as they head down through here. The Aston Martin and the Williams, but the Aston Martin can prevail once again. He keeps the lead of the race. Hibbett's going to have to try to switch this up, maybe wait till that last DRS zone to get the lead. That might be what he has to do. So yeah, it's a lot of carbon copies here this race. I mean, it's been a carbon copy every lap at the front right now. It's just been a move down the second straightaway, but then a move on the straightaway after. So it's just kind of relatively stayed the same around the front. But Hibbett trying to catch up. 5/10 the gap, half a second as they head down into here, down into turn 1 once again to start lap 9 here in Austria. Hibbett gonna have a good run here as here he comes with the DRS. Will he try something different though, or will he go for the move? Hibbett, he's gonna stay behind. He thought about the move there, but didn't go for it. Hibbett now gonna stay behind. He's gonna have DRS here. And Hibbett should get the lead of the race right here. Oh, he might not get there though. It's into the braking zone. He goes to the inside. Here comes Hibbett to the inside of the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin can't hold it on the outside as the Williams. Hibbett goes to the top of the board. What a race this has been here already. 9 laps into Austria. We kind of expected it. It's been a 2-car breakaway at the front, and then now it's starting to break up back here. But it was a great battle. 6 cars behind them, just fighting all for position. Here's Gaddy Elimine trying to catch this V-car who has damage. Christian Severson. Here comes Gaddy Elimine. Doesn't go for the move right there. Elimine gonna probably get it here in the DRS though. Here he comes. Will he make the move here? Yes, he does. To the inside goes Gaddy Elimine. Goes to the podium places, but will the V-car do anything? Yes, he will. He's right there in the rear box. Gonna take the place back. Great fighting for P3 right here. As Gaddy Elimine now gonna try to get the move back. I don't know if he didn't get a great run off turn 3 there. As Gaddy Elimine gets the slipstream as the DRS. Not going to get there, though, into the braking zone. Beard has gotten up into the top 5, so he's recovered pretty well. Here comes Royce Crown, though, to the inside. Going to have the outside, though, into this corner. Here we go around the outside, side by side, sideways for Beard. Beard. Oh, sideways for the Red Bull. Side by side now. Here as they head down into the final corners. Beard's gonna back off. Royce Crown up to the top 5. Oh, Beard is sideways right now. They're all sideways as they head down this front stretch here. Here we go. Here comes the Ferrari looking. Might get a 2 for 1 here. Oh, to the inside of Royce Crown. Can't get there. He goes up 1 spot. Will he get 2 right here? 3 wide as they head down into turn 3. Here comes Beard looking to the inside. Beard, oh, not going to get there, though. Yeah, the move didn't work out. He's going to fall down to P7. Most likely, yes, he will. Race Crown not close enough, though, to get the move on Trevor Massey. We're going to have to look back at that at the battle here. But this is the battle for P3. There's battles all the way around this racetrack. I haven't really checked up at the front right here much, but still Hibbett has the lead. But still, David Albon is right there in the DRS and looks like he might be able to get a move here. As we head down the front stretch for the 12th time today, here comes David Albon to the inside with the DRS. He takes the lead of the race, but Hibbett now going to have the DRS here down this straightaway. Here comes Jonathan Hibbett. He's not going to quite get there, though, I don't think. He's going to have a run up the hill, but not going to make a move until the braking zone turn 3. Side by side here, Christian Severson gets back up into the podium places, doing really good even with that wing damage on the V-carb. But here we go. Battle for the lead is on once again. Here comes Jonathan Hibbett. Looks to the inside, not going to get there. As now David Albon going to get to the lead of the Grand Prix. Oh, that was Getty Elimini went a little bit wide as Royce Crown, or sorry, am I talking about? Christian Severson keeps P3. He's trying to hang on, but Getty Elimini still right there. Looking at this battle though, this 3-car battle right here. Royce Crown leads this pack. That was probably he had a look there. But that's not really a place where you usually see a move done. As here comes Beard with the slipstream. No move going to be made here, though. Right on the rear gearbox, though, of the Williams as they head down into the final corners here. As they head onto the front stretch, Beard, he's going to have a good run. To the inside he goes on the Williams. Also side by side for the podium places. Getty Elimini looked on Christian Severson. Wasn't able to get there. Looking here, though. Oh, no. That was the Williams who went off. It's the other Williams going for the lead. It's so hard to keep up with all these battles. Looking at the front, though, Jonathan Hibbett and David Albon neck and neck as they head down on turn 4. Side by side for the race lead here, but I think Hibbett might get it. Still side by side through here. Oh, Hibbett now might try the crossover. No, as David Albon hangs on. As looking here, Beard up into the top 5 with Royce Crown's mistake here earlier this lap. This is such great racing here in Austria. It's so entertaining to watch. As here we go. Oh, that was a sideways for Max Beard. He saw that just in the distance. As here's the Ferrari trying to catch up to the Red Bull. As here we go down through the final corners here. Here's the fight for the lead once again. The Williams. Jonathan Hibbett is going to have a look here down into turn 3. Oh, the Aston Martin look to break the slipstream, break the toe, but it won't be enough because here comes Jonathan Hibbett. Or will it be enough? No, because it's a little deep from the Aston Martin. As the Williams of Jonathan Hibbett goes to the top of the board, but here comes Aston Martin. Aston Martin, David Albon looks to the inside once again, not going to get there. Hibbett takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Fight for P3 is still on. Christian Severson keeps the podium places. And here comes the Ferrari of Trevor Massey on the Red Bull. Red Bull went a little bit wide there as the Ferrari takes P5. Yep, lap 14 here. We're not even halfway here at Spielberg. This is getting already super entertaining here in Austria as they head down into here. Looking at the fight at the front here. Here comes Aston Martin. They just keep swapping every single lap with how powerful the DRS here is. Here comes the Aston Martin. Gets the lead of the Grand Prix. But here's the Williams. Looking here, he's gonna have the DRS. Here comes this fighting here. That's a Royce Crown, and that's Royce Crown. There's some swapping back there. But here we go. Fight for the lead once again. It's going to be the Aston Martin who keeps the lead. But the Williams is going to have DRS on the Aston Martin here. Will there be a move down to turn 4? Here comes the Williams. Does not make the move as the Aston Martin going to keep the lead of the Grand Prix here on lap 15. Still fighting for P3 right here. Getty Elimini goes to the podium places. After a few laps of trying, Gally eliminates to the podium places. Christian Severson now going to have the dirty air through these corners, and with wing damage, that's not going to help them much. As now these three here starting to reel them in. As also Max Beard came into the pits. He's on the hard compound tires. The first car to pit, trying to get an undercut. Gonna be pit stops coming up pretty shortly here. Pit window is open here, so yeah, Beard came in a little early. Here comes the kick Sauber. Got it eliminated into the pits. Trevor Massey into the pits, and Royce Crown in the pits. Oh, that was really deep from Royce Crown. Does not speed though, thankfully for him. Landon Barrow now takes P4 with those three pitting. Looking at the front, this is likely they're likely gonna both come into the pits here. The Williams and the Aston Martin. This is insane racing, as here comes the Aston Martin to the outside of turn 4, but he's going to clear him for the corner. Is the Aston Martin up into the lead of the race once again, and they're going to have to try to get this sorted out because they're likely both coming to the pits this time. This Beard was not able to jump these guys on pit road, but he still goes to the inside of Trevor Massey. He's trying to warm up his hard tires. But Trevor Massey has the DRS. Trevor Massey going to easily get that spot back, and that strategy did not work out too well for Max Beard. As looking here, still side by side here, as these guys still do not come into the pits. I expected them to come into the pits, but they're going to wait a little bit longer. Severson heads to the pits. Landon Barrow now also into the pits. Gatti eliminates surrounding these corners here. It was a good stop from the Sauber, who Gatti eliminated. Landon Barrow now in the pits. Christian Severson. Will Gatti eliminate be able to get the undercut on Christian Severson? Oh, he will easily, because Christian Severson is repairing that front wing, and these guys also are going to easily go around Christian Severson. So Severson is going to repair his front wing and going to be way back in the field, but he might be able to work his way up with the front wing repaired. 3 cars under a blanket here as they head down into turn 3, as they head down into here. Oh, this Ferrari looks to the inside as they head down this back straightaway here in Austria. Down into turn 4, oh, sideways. Still side by side, the Ferrari could have to give way as the Royce Crown gets up into P5. Max Beard P4 right now. Gatti Elimini P3. They're trying to chase them down for the podium, but they are way far behind. Well, actually, no. Now the top 2 come into the pits. What a stop from the Aston Martin, though. That was a great stop from the Aston Martin crew, and David Albon going to pull away quite a lot with that great pit stop from Aston Martin. Gatti Elimini not going to pull off the undercut on these guys, but he is going to gain quite a lot. They're all evenly spaced now, and Hibbett does not have the DRS, so David Albon looks like he's in really good shape right now. David Albon in really good shape there. It's a rough stop from the Williams crew, and that lost them a lot of time there. Is the Sauber closing in on the Williams just a little bit, as here's the big fight here. 3 cars here. So here's Royce Crown looking sideways into turn 4. He got the move done sideways through turn 4. That was an insane move from Royce Crown, who takes P4. Your sprint winner now trying to catch up to Gatti Elimini for the podium. They could definitely pull it off if they just kind of swap like this but not fight in the braking zones. They could easily work together and get to Gatti Elimini. They all have really good pace on the Sauber. Gatti Elimini. He only has 1 podium for Allegiant. He got it in Monza. Did not get it at Singapore though, and he's looking to get it at Austria here. Is all looking here for the battle for P4. Here comes Beard. He's going to have a look to the outside and easily get the move done. Wow, that was, you can see how powerful the DRS is, because Royce Crown went down to P6 in the matter of just 1 straightaway. Now Beard is at risk because he does not have the DRS. Here we go. Trevor Massey does not make the move though. As you see, oh, he makes the move here, though. Oh, Beard just keeps going way too deep there. And Trevor Massey gets up to P4. This is great racing here in Austria. At the front here, it's David Albon, 2.4 seconds a gap over Johnson and Hibbett. The pit stops really shook things up. It was a great stop from the Aston Martin crew, and yeah, that's pretty much could be the race. But Hibbett does have good pace, so maybe he'll be able to catch up. Fight for P4 once again. Here comes the Red Bull. He goes to P4, but now gonna not have DRS here. Here comes Trevor Massey in the Ferrari. And also Royce Crown with a full head of steam. But Royce Crown boxes the Ferrari in, and now Royce Crown up to P4. Smart thinking from the Williams there. Here comes the Red Bull. He's gonna have a look here down at turn 4. Not gonna make the move though. This has got to be some of the best racing we've seen in Formula Allegiant. This is absolutely insane as they head down through these corners here. Only on lap 20, so we are a little past halfway. We're gonna have 16 laps to go at the line. Yes, 16 laps to go for the Aston Martin of David Albon. He won Singapore. He's looking to win in Austria. Yeah, David Albon, obviously, he broke Sam Lewis's winning streak because Sam Lewis obviously not racing anymore in Formula Allegiant. So yeah, he's now looking for 2 in a row here, and I'm sure everyone's hoping that he does not start a Sam Lewis winning streak. But you never know, it could happen. But I still think it's definitely won't be as dominant as Sam Lewis is looking here. Down the fight for P5 here. It's Trevor Massey and Maddox Beard here. Beard has the DRS. No, it's actually Trevor Massey who has the DRS. They both have DRS. Sorry. Yeah, as they head down into turn 4. No moves made. So yeah, it's definitely starting to calm down a little bit here in Austria, but still great racing here as the Ferrari tries to catch the Williams. Williams looking for a double podium, but I just don't know if Royce Crown's going to quite be able to catch Gaddy Alemany. Gaddy Alemany heads through these 2 final corners. He is the last car on the podium right now. David Albon is 3 seconds up on Jonathan Hibbett right now. Pulling away a little bit from the Williams. He has a slightly better pace than Jonathan Hibbett, so Hibbett might have to settle for a P2 finish here. First Crown trying to catch up, but here is the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Oh, that was a little send there from the Red Bull. Wasn't able to get there though. As they head down this straightaway, here comes Trevor Massey with the DRS. Will there be a move made into turn 4? No. There will not be a move into turn 4 as they head down the hill into turn 5. Coming to 14 laps to go at the line here. Laps ticking off really fast here. It's the shortest lap on the F1 calendar. So yeah, shortest track on the F1 calendar. So that's why the laps tick off super fast here in Austria. Here we go, down through these corners here. The gap at the front, it's definitely extending. 3.4 seconds now. Pulled away about half a second over Jonathan Hibbett. Royce Crown now in trouble because here comes the Ferrari. Look, he's going to have a look here with the DRS. Goes to the outside of the Williams. As Royce Crown, Trevor Massey side by side into turn 3. Will he get the move done? Oh, side by side. Yes, he gets the move done. Gets the exit speed. But here comes Williams of Royce Crown. Gonna look once again to the inside. Contact though with the Williams and the Ferrari. Oh, Trevor Massey did a good job hanging on the outside, but the Williams still likely gonna clear him here. Yes, he will clear him. Royce Crown gonna still keep P4. Lost a little bit of time to Gaddy Alemany, who's on his own right now. They're trying to catch up to Gaddy Alemany, but also trying to fight for position also. I just don't see them really catching Gaddy Alemany. It could happen, but it'll be tough. Here we go, a little wide from Royce Crown there as here comes the Ferrari with the DRS. Here we go, looks to the outside in the braking zone. No, not going to get there. Going to wait till this straightaway right here. Ferrari with the DRS. Here he comes. Oh, it's also Royce Crown running low on ERS as the Ferrari goes to P4. The Red Bull fighting for P5. Can't get there, though. Oh, yes, he will, because the Williams sends it in a little too deep. Gonna be a dead heat down into turn 4. As, yep, the Red Bull goes up to P5. Is also don't count out these two back here, Christian Severson and Landon Baranow. They are catching. They are definitely catching to the rear of Royce Crown here. Yeah, Christian Severson has great pace. It's just unfortunately they got wing damages. Oh no, that's the Maddox Beard off the road. Beard off the road. He's gonna fall maybe out of the DRS range. I don't know if he did. No, he did not. He didn't quite fall out of DRS range. Christian Severson is right there here. He's looking to get the job done here on Maddox Beard. He looks to the inside. Here we go. Down at turn 1. Christian Severson, Maddox Beard, side by side as they head down through here. Turn 1, oh, the head apex there from the V-Carb. He pushes the Red Bull a little bit wide. As here we go, DRS from Christian Severson. They lose a little bit of time, though, to Royce Crown. They all fight down into the braking zone. Still side by side as they head down through turn 3, down into turn 4. They're side by side. Beer going to keep P6. But now they lost so much time to Royce Crown. I don't know if they'll be able to make it up. Severson looking here, the Red Bull Junior team on the Red Bull Senior team as they head down into the turn into the sweeping corners here. Oh, and yeah, Christian Severson gets the move done. Severson has great pace right now, trying to catch up to Royce Crown. I wouldn't be surprised if he can even challenge for a podium here. So here comes Landon Baranow looking, not going to get the move done though. Those two have really solid pace. They're able to catch all the way up to Royce Crown. Yep, but they are way far behind, though, to Royce Crown. But Christian Severson definitely has it in him to try to catch up. He smashed his tires way better than everyone else, I feel like. Christian Severson doing a great job. Here we go, DRS, though, down in a turn 3. Here we go. Oh, no boost made, though. Severson really does not want to get passed by that Red Bull because he knows he has good pace. As Landon Baranow now might, oh, not quite there on Max Beard. As they head down into turn 4. Yep, the Red Bull definitely struggling with that tire wear right now. Yeah, pretty much spread out through the whole field. It's definitely calmed down since the first 20 laps, but still some battles happening throughout the whole track, or throughout some of the track. Yeah, Christian Severson looking to catch up to Royce Crown, but I don't know if he's actually. I thought he had better pace, but I don't know if he actually does. Landon Baranow definitely right there on Maddox Beard. Maddox Beard just struggling right now with that tire wear. Is Landon Baranow with the DRS, but Beard has that DRS also, so no move made there. Beard really relying on that DRS right now, so that was probably a warning right there for Max Beard also. As we head down up the hill, there's slipstream from the Sauber. Will he make the move? Yes, swings to the inside. And Landon Baranow, oh, not quite there. Side by side as they head down in the turn down at turn 4. Here comes the Sauber and the Red Bull side by side as they head in the braking zone. And Maddox Beard falls down a P8. Just did not manage his tires very well, and yeah, he kind of shows. There's also Landon Baranow does have a little bit of wing damage to that front wing, so that's also holding him back a little bit. Chris Severson did gain about a 10th on Royce Crown that lap, but is that good enough though to catch Royce Crown? He just really has to gain a second here, try to get in that DRS range, so that'll be golden. But it's a tough task to do. But if Royce Crown starts to fight on the Ferrari, then it could be possible. They aren't too far away for getting eliminated too, but it's still a tough task to do. Try to catch up to the Sauber as they head down. You see from 3rd to 8th there, heading up into turn 3. Update at the front though. So David Albon just pulling away though over Josh Hibbett. Hibbett looking like he's just gonna have to settle for P2. Is fighting here. Royce Crown gets up into P4. V-Carb gains slightly from that, but I don't think he's gonna quite be able to catch these guys. See, I thought he had better pace, but I don't think he's quite there without that DRS. Yeah, Max Beard just really struggling with that, with the tires right now. Did not manage his hard compound tires very well. Just looking here through the field. Royce Crown definitely has good pace. I don't think he's going to be able to really catch Gaddy Elam, and he really just has to get in that DRS, and that takes 1.5 seconds right now. He has to gain 1.5 seconds to try to get that. I don't think he's going to. But here we go down into. Oh no, that's a 3-second penalty for Christian Severson. Christian Severson, 3-second penalty, and that could really hurt him. That would definitely really hurt him. Now, right now, he's provisionally right now P8. Yeah, he's P8 right now. Actually, maybe P7. But yeah, it's definitely going to lose him time with that 3-second time penalty. That'll be added to his time at the end of the race. Side by side, though, down into turn 5. Oh. This Royce Crown keeps P4 over Trevor Massey, who's trying to find his way to P4. As we have 7 laps to go here in Austria, not a lot of time left in this race. Here we go down through these final corners here. This is the biggest battle on track right now. Christian Severson gaining, but he has that 3-second penalty, so it's not looking very good for him. As the Ferrari and the Williams side by side, as the Ferrari goes up to P4, the Williams still right there though. Williams has that DRS. They're going to swap positions once again because here comes the Williams to the outside. He will get the spot. Chris Severson now gained, but that 3-second penalty really killed him. Here we go, down into turn 4 once again. The Williams and the Ferrari and the V-Carb now under 3 cars under a blanket here. And it might be 4 if these guys fight hard enough, because Landon Barron now might be able to get in on this fight. Here we go, down into here. Oh, Trevor Massey sideways a little bit there. Here comes Christian Severson, hard charging V-Carb right behind the Ferrari. Here comes a V-Carb, slides a little bit, but he has better pace than these guys. He knows he does. A little sideways there, but he has the DRS. They're gonna the Ferrari's definitely gonna get the move done on the Williams most likely. Actually, maybe not. He's not quite. I don't know if he's close enough. They're evenly spaced as they head down into turn 3. The run up to turn 3. Oh, here comes Trevor Massey, closes in right to the rear gearbox. And also Christian Severson does too. Looking here is the fight for P4. Here's this 3 cars under a blanket as we've mentioned. We have 6 laps to go here. No, 5 laps to go, sorry. So 5 laps to go here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Probably the 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go here in Austria. So here comes Trevor Massey. He's definitely in striking distance of Royce Crown here. But also it's Christian Severson right there also. You know Severson wants to get this move done here. He has good pace right now. And if he's got to show that, he's got to get around these guys and pull away 3 seconds, which is probably not going to happen, but he could still get past these guys on track. Oh, that was wide from the Williams. 3 wide as they head down the straightaway. Christian Severson, through goes Severson, goes to P5, defends on the Ferrari, as now he might be able to get up to P4 here. He gains on the braking zone, gains on the exit, as he's down this straightaway here. Here comes the V-Carb, not going to quite get the run though, as here comes the Ferrari with Slipstream, not going to get there though. Things starting to heat up here in Austria with just 5 laps to go here in Austria. Here we go. Fight for P4 still on. Here comes Severson with just such better grip right now. He's managed his tires perfectly to perfection. As here we go down into the final corners here. Here comes Severson. Christian Severson right there. As here we go. Will there be a move into turn one? Oh, but the Ferrari gained a little bit on the V-carb there. The V-carb going to stay behind down into the braking zone here. Turn one. A little wide, and that's a 3-second penalty for Royce Crown. Now this is fight for position here for Christian Severson. Severson knows that. He goes to the inside of Royce Crown, who also has a 3-second penalty. As now the Ferrari goes to the inside, and the Ferrari is provisional P4 right now. Unless he gets a 3-second penalty. Here he comes, though. What a run from the Ferrari. What a run. As there we go. Oh, sideways for the Ferrari, though. Sideways as he loses the 2 spots. He just touched the V-carb there. Now the V-carb should be able to run away here from these two. Yeah, the Ferrari does have provisional P4 right now, but the V-carb might be able to break away from the Ferrari right now. That's what we really got to watch here with those two having penalties. So here we go down through here, lap 34 here of 36, getting very close to the end of the Austrian Grand Prix. Leonard Barrow now also might have a provisional P5 here if he can stay in this position. It'll be close, but he might. It's also that's Max Beard might be going for a fastest lap attempt. As here we go, oh, side by side here, Christian Severson and Trevor Messi and Royce Crown as they head down through here. Royce Crown now on the inside of the Ferrari, backs out though, as now Christian Severson, I can tell he just has a little bit more confidence in the car than those guys. Also on the front, we haven't mentioned it, but 12 seconds the gap from David Albon to Jonathan Hibbett. This is a complete dominance after the pit stop from the Aston Martin shades of Sam Lewis. Really, he's 12 seconds in front of Jonathan Hibbett. So yeah, David Albon, he's looking to get 2 in a row here in Austria. Here we go, down into turn one. Here comes Trevor Massey, pulls to the inside. Gonna fake it though, through the dummy, but that also threw Royce Crown off, who goes off into the runoff. Here comes Trevor Massey, looks inside. Here he comes, Trevor Massey. Gonna get up to P4. He's just gonna stay in this pack because he's still gonna have P4 anyway, if he just stays with these guys. So yeah, Trevor Massey doesn't have to fight it really that hard, but Trevor Massey still does want to try to get around these guys on track. As David Albon about to start the final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, complete dominance from David Albon after the pit stop. It was great fighting at the front, but then now David Albon was able to just pull away, and now he's driven away to 12-second gap. But looking here, still the fight for P4. It's Christian Severson, Trevor Massey, and Royce Crown. But keep in mind, Christian Severson has a 3-second penalty, and Royce Crown. So right now, the Ferrari does have the 4th position right now. Either way, the Sauber may be able to get P5. Here we go. Last time down this straightaway here. Here we go. The fight here is all the Williams looks to the inside. Here we go. Down into the braking zone. Royce Crown goes up to P4. On track at least, as they head down into this back straightaway for one final time. Christian Severson does want to get around these guys. Max Beard, good. The fast lap attempt was a success. He goes to the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It's a good job from Max Beard there. But looking here at the front, complete dominance from David Albon. He's gonna win the Austrian Grand Prix. David Albon goes 2 in a row at Austria. The Williams, Jonathan Hibbett, comes through the final corners. He's going to come home. Still going to gain a lot of points on Sam Lewis. He's going to come home for a solid P2 finish for the sprint race and the Grand Prix. Sauber comes home for a second podium in Formula Allegiant. Comes home for a podium finish. You see the shuffling here. Landon Bear now, what a performance there, P5. After penalties, the Ferrari P4, Race Con P6, Christian Severson P7, Max Beard, whose fastest lap attempt was a success. He heads to the final corners, gonna gain an extra point here as he heads through these final corners here. Max Beard, P8 in Austria. As that will do it from the Austrian Grand Prix. That was great racing throughout that whole race. And yeah, what a race that was in Austria. Driver of the day there, Trevor Massey. See, podium ceremony start now. And there's your podium ceremonies there. Here's your race results. It's David Albon, Jonathan Ibbett, Getty Elimini, Trevor Massey, Landon Baronell, Royce Crown, Christian Severson, Max Beard, and the Mercedes of Alex Albon, who unfortunately retires early from the Grand Prix. So that will do it from Austria. We're going to go ahead and head into the interview room. What a race that was, though, from Austria. We're going to go ahead into the interview room here shortly. All right. Get a chance to catch our breath after that fantastic race, though. That was absolutely incredible. Might be the race of the season, to be honest. All right, go ahead into the interview room here shortly. All right, heading into the interview now. All right, should give it a sec for people to join. All right. I'll just go ahead and start interviews now. So go ahead and start with Max Beard. So Max Beard, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're pretty solid all race until kind of just a few mistakes set you pretty far back. But you did go for the fastest lap attempt, and you did get the fastest lap. So yeah, just walk me through that race, and what more could you have done to get a better spot?
Yeah, well, first of all, yeah, I had a very good qualifying. I don't emphasize when twice off the corner to have gotten pole both those times, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, in the race, I had pretty high expectations, but after lap one, I pretty much knew I wasn't going to win or get a podium, as, yeah, I mean, I was just getting adjusted to my wheel. I mean, I don't know if it was my setup or my wheel, but it's just completely unacceptable. The car was, I literally couldn't get on the gas out of the corner. So yeah, I mean, I was just pretty much falling back the whole race. At the end, it was basically undrivable. So I went for the mediums, but yeah, another bad finish. I don't know what it was, but not sure if my wheel is very good with that 124, but it's just unacceptable. And yeah, hopefully next race I can do better, but at this point, I'm not even sure.
Yep. We have Coda coming up next to start the U.S. Stretch. So, yeah, how do you think he'll do at Coda, and do you think you can go for your first F1 League win?
Yeah, no, probably not because a lot of heavy braking zones there, and yeah, it just seems like my car and my setup. I don't know what it is. It just does not like heavy braking zones as I spin most of them. So yeah, just hoping to maybe try to get a top five there, and yeah.
Yep. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to Christian Severson, who finishes in the seventh position. So Christian Severson, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, so you obviously got wing damage early in the race, then you repaired it, and you were able to. You actually had pretty solid pace. You were able to catch the pack in front of you, but unfortunately got that 3 second penalty, which set you back quite a lot. So yeah, just walk me through that race and how you were able to come up with P7.
I think pitting for the wing was a mistake. I think I maybe should have just done no wing because I had great pace. I felt like I was not losing any time, but I felt like we had great pace, especially when we fell behind after the pit stop on that second stint. Just felt great too. But it's just so hard here to overtake with the DRS, and it's just overpowered in my opinion. But it could have been better, but it was still a good result, and I think we can look positive even though we have a qualifying ban next race. I like Coda, and I think it can go well.
Yep. Do you think? So yeah, how do you think you'll do at Coda?
Uh, well, it's I have a really good pace there, really good setup, so I'm hoping we can have a great result, even though we'll start in the back. But you know, can still salvage it. So we'll see.
Yep. All right, go ahead and move on to your sixth place finisher. Wait. Oh yeah. So we're gonna move on to sixth place finisher. Royce Crown. So Royce Crown, you ready?
Yep.
So yeah, it was overall pretty solid performance. That 3 second penalty kind of screwed you over a little bit. You're still able to salvage a P6 finish though, out of at least out of Christian Severson, who also had the 3 second penalty. So yeah, race crown. You're obviously the sprint winner. So what more do you think you could have done to maybe go for the win today?
Definitely could have had the pace to be at least in the top three. Hopefully, be fighting up with Polish and Faded. But yeah, the start was just unfortunate. They got a gap over the shit show at turn one, and then the DRS trains in 24 are just absolutely ridiculous. And even when you're out in front, you pull away about 8 tenths through the corners, and then the straights come and they're right back on your tail. So there's not much you can do. Um, Without having like a ridiculous pace advantage. But I did what I could. I was told that the 3 second penalty was not going to count because I only got two warnings, but we'll
Oh, it
see
might not.
what happens.
It might.
And
It might
yeah,
not. Then. Yeah, it might not because I didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that, but yeah, it might not because of that. But yeah. But yeah, we have Coda coming up next. So how do you think you'll do at Coda?
So do my best. Maybe do a couple practice laps. And yeah, do the best we can.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move on to your fifth place finisher, Landon Baranow. So Landon Baranow, you ready? Yep. So, yeah, Landon Barron now after penalties, you do finish P5. Obviously, I don't know if Royce Crowd's penalty actually counts or not, but yeah, I was never really informed on that. But as of now, though, you did finish P5. So, say Landon Barron now, just walk me through that race and how it was from your perspective.
Terrible race. We just like you were talking about the trainer. These guys don't know how to actually fall in line and catch the car ahead. Like we were like three, you had the top two pull away. We're still side by side for some odd reason. Seeing it into the corner, going off track as we saw with the two penalties. One point, I even had my own teammates sending in three wide going into the second turn, and I had to force Red Bull off track. Like I don't know what we're doing here. And then Crown takes me, and I'm about to cutting up my nose. I don't know. on how my race went from getting taken out to being put on the bass out of pit strategy because my teammate that before me, P5 or P6, is arguably good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, we have Coda next. So do you think you'll be able to go first off finish at Coda?
It honestly depends on how the field races. If the field races like the day, probably not. If we can actually have some smart racing, I would assume so. Because again, I caught up with the pack 3 times when I was sixth plus second stack. That's how bad they were fighting each other. So if we can actually have some smart racing with some good pit strategies, Dakota should be a good track. But with this field, probably not.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move on to your second place finisher, Jonathan Hibbett. So Jonathan Hibbett, you ready?
Yes.
So yeah, you were fighting for the lead up until pit stops, and after pit stops, David Albon was able to build a gap on you. So overall, what made David Albon pull that gap on you? And do you think if that maybe with a better pit stop, do you think you could have maybe fought for a win?
Well, I mean, it's easy, Bryce. He has more skill and more pace in the car than you know, that guy who's leading the championship, Mr. Sam Lewis. But yeah, I mean, I tried to outrun him, but ERS was running at 11%, and that's actually 89% less than 100 if you factor that in. So, um, no, I just had to save the entire time, and I knew he wasn't my battle after that. So, yeah, I just wanted to maintain P2 and you know, not even think about the win. I was thinking about the win probably the first 16, 17 laps I was battling him, but you get a shitty pit stop and you know, that shit falls apart. So, I don't really know.
Yep. So yeah, you've mentioned that that you're obviously gonna give it your all to try to get that world championship. So yeah, at Coda, do you think you'll be able to go for a win and try to gain more points on Sam Lewis?
I mean, it's my home track, so you know, as long as we do good and win in good old Austin, Texas, horns down, obviously. Yeah, I think we should definitely have a good shot at Sam Lewis. It's not a guarantee, but we're gonna have to win out for the rest of the year, and yeah, I'm gonna give it 110%.
Yep. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to your race winner. Absolute dominance after the pit stops. David Albon, you ready? Yep. So David Albon, it was a really strong race. You obviously fought with Jonathan Hibbett for the first like 17 laps until pit stops. So yeah, it was after that you were able to really pull away and gap Jonathan Hibbett. So how were you able to do that? And also walk me through that fight with Jonathan Hibbett in the first half of the race.
I was able, the good pit stop really helped. If Johnny just had, I feel, a better pit stop, he would have been up there with me, 1000%, because I think he did have the pace. But um, besides that, the battling was good. We only made contact a couple times, despite the fact us going into almost every corner side by side. So the fact we only made contact a couple times is actually kind of amazing. It was good racing. It was fun. Uh, yeah, again, I think if he had a better pit stop, probably would have been maybe a different story. But once I got that gap, I kind of knew like I was in a good spot.
Yep. So yeah, we got Coda coming up next. Do you think he'll make it three in a row at Coda?
Yes. Code is one of my favorite tracks. Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for racing, and And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro. Thank you guys for racing. All right. So it's quite the race in Austria. Probably honestly the race of the season in my opinion. But yeah, we got Coda coming up next, and we'll get to resume the racing action next Friday at 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Central time, and 4:30 Pacific time. So yeah, I do not want to miss that Coda, considering how great the racing was here in Austria. You do not want to miss that Coda. So yep. We'll see you then. So yeah, it's Bryce Croft signing off.